Supernatural Spirit Magic School, Scene 1, Take 1.
Wonderful job by Angelica. Stunning. It's good. Right, so we're going to introduce you to magic, not conjuring, but the Crowley magic, the magic of Dr. D, the original 007, the magic which the Illuminati do. If you've watched Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise, him of the midget variety, you'll see in Wide Awake a sex orgy ritual which the Illuminati do in their mansions. And of course we know that Hollywood are into magic and witchcraft. If you look at Beyonce videos, or Madonna, the original Illuminati queen, or Katy Perry, or Taylor Swift, or Ariana Grande, or Miley Cyrus, or Jay-Z, they're full, among others, they're full of occult symbolism and ritualistic magic. And here we're going to explain from the ground up how to do magic. Magic with a K, as Crowley put it. I keep it magic with a C. And the website which has this stuff is called Supernatural Spirit.com, and this is supernaturalspirit.com's magic school. And you don't have to buy anything, because we're going to go into all of the magics, and the problem is that with magic there are a whole set of disparate systems which are very complicated and booby-trapped. So when Aleister Crowley did the book of Wicca for the witches, he deliberately put in mistakes in the text which he gave to the witches and is now being used. Similarly, you'll see in his own work he puts in deliberate mistakes to booby-trap it. And the worst of the booby-traps is in Cabalistic magic, which has been the purview and had Madonna as the front woman. Because if you look in the original Cabalistic tree, this is the book by A.E. Waite, who was the head of the Golden Dawn. The Golden Dawn was the magical society to which Crowley belonged, and has spread out to become the OTO, and teaches the 33rd levels of the Illuminati, and the whole of Freemasons above Master Mason, that's the 3rd level, start to include occult magic. Eliphas Levi was used to bring magic, Cabalistic magic, to the Freemasons. All of this is used at the highest level by the elite, but it's booby-trapped, and the worst of the booby-traps, is simply put the Cabalistic tree. Now, all of you professional witches and occultists and magicians and wizards and New Age people will know about the Cabalistic tree, but you'll never have seen this Cabalistic tree, because this is the original Jewish Cabalistic tree, the right Cabalistic tree. But the one you see is the wrong Cabalistic tree. Why? Because they've exchanged the pillars. In every book you'll find on Kabbalah, that pillar is over the other side. And Binah, which should be on the left, because the left is female, is on the right. And we've got Chokmah, which is the Sephiroth of Lucifer, the male light principle, which is on the left. And in Kabbalah and in magic, the right is male and the left is female. So if you look in any other book, you'll find it's in the opposite position. This means, of course, when Madonna sells her wristbands, which all of the trendy people are buying, the red cord wristband with 7 cords, which is supposed to give you good stuff. In fact, of course, of your own free will, you're becoming a scapegoat to people like me who understand magic. And in fact, red stands for Gabora, the 5th Sephiroth of destruction, evil. That's basically in tarot the lightning struck tower, and the lightning struck tower is death, destruction and all the mayhem, and its colour in Kabbalah is red. And as you see, 7 from the Fibonacci series, if you look at my earlier videos, stands for the 7th term of the Fibonacci series is 13, death and destruction. So the 7 chords on the 7 red band of Madonna's Cabalistic bracelet brings to whoever wears it on the left hand, because the left hand brings in stuff. Why left hand pillar female? What? So the female accepts, and the right hand the male gives. That's why he's got a penis. So what you're doing is accepting Gabora and the 7 of destruction to you when you wear a red armband. So everyone wearing it on the planet is a scapegoat for Illuminati masters like myself. And since I'm top of the tree, it all aligns to me, which is rather good. And you might wonder why 7 is so deadly or good. Well, that comes again from Kabbalah. Now, why do we use this book? This was written by A.E. Waite, who, though he was a Christian nut, and loads of the Golden Dawn people resigned, even so, it is unmodified, unredacted, uncorrupted, and if you peel away the Christian overview, it's full of information you can't get anywhere else apart from your rabbis, and of course they won't give it to you because you're not Jewish and one of the elect. Now if you look for the 7 which Madonna uses, we've got the 7 exchange rituals which come from the 7 double letters: Beth, Gimel, Daleth, Cap, Pei, Resh, Tau. These 7 signs stand in the Book of Formation for, on the right side, which is the good side, life, peace, knowledge, wealth, grace, fruitfulness and dominion, which I get from everyone who wears the Madonna red armband. But everyone who wears it gets death, strife, ignorance, poverty, sin, sterility and slavery, which is good stuff. And as you can see, the Jewish Kabbalists who instructed Madonna as a good Goyim girl didn't tell her of these secrets, because as we well know, Madonna's whining about ageism. She's 60, no one in the industry wants her. She had to spend 5 million of her own money on a new video. Her children don't want to see her. She was in the papers that she gave them phones at 13 and then they ignored her. She got booted out by the Crown and has to live in Portugal because she got scapegoated by a certain archmage of the Illuminati. And all of this shows that whatever she's been doing is wrong. I, of course, am going to give you the unbooby-trapped magic in all its forms, from Enochian magic to the Book of Thoth from Crowley, to Goetic magic, summoning demons. All of this will be given to you without booby traps. Why? Because I'm a thoroughly good chap.
Yes.
Let's begin then.
Hurrah.
And angelic Annie, it pleases her.
It does indeed.
Her of the white witchery. Now we want to set up magic. So where do we start? Do we start with little spells or magics, or do we go straight into what the Illuminati do in their mansions and in Temple in London, going straight away for full bore heavy stuff? And as you know, I'm well noted for being hardcore in everything I do, so we're going to go full bore into the heavy magic right from the start, not a few little spells. Now, to dissuade the NSA trolls from whining he's making it up, he's just a bullshitter, he's off his head, he's on cloud 9, we're going to use A.E. Waite's book again. This is over 50 years old, so there's no copyright problems. Which has all of the grimoires. The book of black magic contains magical rituals and literature from rare books and even rarer manuscripts, material often written in ancient foreign languages and are unavailable to the general public. Arthur Edward Waite has provided an authoritative, honest and authentic text for students who are interested in magic ritual and for readers who are interested in the historical roots of ceremonial magic, which is what I'm going to teach you. Then I'll teach you all the other aspects and the witchcraft bits, but we're going to unify it into one simple safe system, because Aleister Crowley and his successor, Kenneth Grant, both dead, were always whining that magic was overcomplicated, needed to be streamlined. And of course, if you didn't do it right, you either get possessed, driven mad, or you get bad things, bad luck coming into your life. So we avoid all that with this system. And being a scientist, it's actually underlined with a whole scientific system that explains it, which is in the previous videos. So if you've looked at my previous videos, which seem pretty dry, boring, and in certain cases offensive — I like being offensive, so that's just my sadistic humour. That's why I have timrefat.com. They are there just to underline that modern day magic, the magic which is been offered to the public, has been developed from Crowley to the next level and beyond, and made safe and simple for the public. And the whole purpose of it is to elevate yourself, to become an ascended master and be able to use magic to save the planet, save the environment, and make the world a better place. That's of course Angelic Annie's idea, because as I say, being a white witch, she's devoted to saving the planet and saving these things. Cookie the vampire dog. I'm not a dog lover myself, but you must admit, Cookie the vampire dog is sweet, aren't you? Aren't you, darling? Aren't you? Yes. Now, we start with the basic medieval ceremonial magic ritual, which is used by all the Illuminati, and we will talk about Eyes Wide Shut, because the director went to these orgies, magic orgies, and was a devotee in one of the Illuminati, and after he showed the film, he mysteriously died, I think, was it 41 days later or something? So who was the director again?
Stanley Kubrick.
Stanley Kubrick.
Yeah, because he wanted to put the 24 minutes in, didn't they? And they cut it.
They cut it,
So
yeah.
they had to kill him.
And they had to kill him, yeah. Anyway, concerning the invocation of evil spirits. If we would call any evil spirit to the circle, it behoves us to consider and to know his nature, to which of the planets it agreeth. So I'm going to teach you all of that. And what offices are distributed him from the planet. Why, spirits, we saw, Spirits can go into things. So if you put a spirit, there's a spirit. There we are. You put it into a person. Yeah. When it goes in, that adds whatever you want to that person. That's the usage of magic, and that was explained in detail with the eye to the eye, which I'm not going to explain because that's in the other videos. That's why I did the other videos. All the boring scientific shit is in those videos. So if you want to plow through them, you can. This is magic stuff which the public like. And if you want to take away from a person, the spirit can grab some of the stuff from the person, and normally if they're a male, they're giving away sex energy when they have an onanism. Isn't that a good word, onanism? do you onanize a lot? Are you a big onanizer? And of course, when women use their vibrators and have lots of onanism, they lose sex energy. And spirits can pick this up. Similarly, if you're in the banking system and a banker, which you find the bankers are into magic big time, they can take your money or property, which of course is an eye space, that's an eye space, that's an eye space, and the spirits which can be invoked can delete from the person. So that's why we do ritual ceremonial magic. We can conjure up spirits, entities, planetary forces, the dead for necromancy, which we'll explain as well. I like explaining it all. To delete things from the target. Now, if you think of this as the world population, the people who control magic can add what they want to the population and delete what they want from the population. Hence, of course, we are the Illuminati. We control the world. And since the Illuminati is a hierarchy, you've got your pyramid with its various levels, and we start at the bottom. These are the people who use the magic with a zealotor, and the top of the pyramid truncated, we get the adeptus major, which are the grades of the Golden Dawn. I'll go through all the grades later. Pretty boring going through the list at the moment. Slowly catch your monkey. And up the top we've got the eye, and in Kabbalah the eye stands for Hay. So if we go back to the A Weight book, page 78, and go to the back. As you can see, it makes it simpler for the public. You can simply buy these books if you can find them. They are available, except on Amazon.
Yes.
These are the 12 letters of the Hebrew alphabet. We've gone to the 7 ones were others. Hay stands for, that's the symbol for it, and sight, and it's the east. So the eye represents Hay, the Shekinah, which is the God form of Kabbalah. So the eye bit would stand for the east. And as we've seen from our Cabalistic tree, the east, if you're standing like this, then the east would be left pillar, which is starts at the top with Binar, which is the third Sephiroth, the Sephiroth of the Mother, and this in the east would be the Hell Space, which we talked about, and the right side, the male Chokmah, which is yellow, Binar's blue, would stand for Sea Space. You look on the other videos if you want that explained. But what we've done is to scientifically formulate all of magic into one system, which allows us to take all the disparate rituals which are out there from Enochian magic, which is batshit crazy, but is basically using 5-dimensional entities, the Enochian spirits and earth energies, which are the purview of the Knights Templar, to the Book of Thoth, which is tarot magic, thelemic magic of Crowley, which is willpower magic, which would be the American and Russian psychic warfare programs, to Goetic magic, all about demons, to the Abramelin ritual, which is using magic to ascend to your holy guardian angel, basically evolving you into an ascended master, which was Crowley's aim. Of course he failed. To chaos magic, which is to do with Coronzon, the chaos entity, which you have to avoid when you jump the abyss to go from being an adept to the higher 3 levels. And the higher 3 levels are at a Magister Templar, which I've elevated Celestial Paladin and Angelic Annie to. Then a Magus, which Colin Bloy was, who taught me all the MI6 Illuminati symbolism, to an Ipsissimus, which is the stands for Keter, which is top of the Cabalistic tree. Hello, gorgeous, aren't you? Sweet, aren't you? British Bulldog, good symbol. Yeah. So I'm as an Ipsissimus, I'm basically the Crown's bulldog. I go and savage people for the Crown. Was that a male?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. With balls, yeah. I haven't got balls that big. That dog's got bigger balls than me. It's giving me a complex. I've got ball envy now. Isn't that a lovely dog? Look at it, look at it. Anyway, back to at the top, that's Keter, which is top of the Cabalistic tree. That gets Ein Sof and Ein Sof Ur. Ein Sof is basically what you would call the source, and the light coming down from the source is Ein Sof Ur. That would be your Ipsissimus. The Magus is here, and the Magister Templar is there. And the gap, death, you have to jump. Dat, the 11th Sephiroth, is guarded by Coronzon, the chaos entity, which possesses you and drives you mad if you try and do it. As Aleister Crowley tried in the desert with his homosexual minion, I think it was Neuberg, and failed to do the ritual when Coronzon kicked sand into his circle, magic circle. Anyway, back to my rambling introduction. It's an introduction, so I can ramble. Isn't it fun? Mm-hmm. The eye then can be seen to be the Shekinah, and it has 3 magician types, an Ipsissimus, a Magus and a Magister Templar to control it, which number 3, which gives us the trinity of the witches. And the 3, of course, stands for the 3rd Sephiroth, which is Binar. Now, if we would call any evil spirit to the circle, it first behooves us to consider and to know his nature, to which the planets agreeth, and what offices are distributed him from the planet. This being known, so there's a whole set of correspondence tables will go through in the 20 feature films. That's why there are so many of them. It's a very involved science. Remember when I did the other videos, we talked about sea space and hell space, and we have the technology from the past they've been using to manipulate it. And down the bottom, of course, we've got the dead spirits. And these dead spirits, of course, to do with necromancy, and this is the realm of the soul. Hence, of course, Lucifer's interest in souls. And from our Argand diagram and the other boring videos, which do the science, that would be the -1 south position of the Argand diagram. So we start with magic by having a circle. The magician stands inside the circle. If you're a magician like me, who likes doing deletions, you stand at the north. If you're a magician like Angelic Annie, you stand at the east for doing the good stuff. Well, that's what they say in the book. But remember, all these books are booby-trapped. If you stand at the east,
Taken away.
you're doing deletion.
Yeah.
So you're not, are you?
No.
And here, this is the west. So in fact, rather than standing the east like all of the texts you'll see find, if you want to do hell space stuff, deletion, stand at the east. If you want to do adding stuff, which is what all of you do, you white magicians do, you stand at the west. So, take that. Yeah. I stand at the north because I like doing all the physical world stuff. Remember, if you look at the Argand diagram, the north is the realm of the real world. And I'm into controlling the real world, Chad world, Cobalt 60 world, psychic warfare, all the stuff I talk about in the Rent Show, where I control geopolitics. So I stand at the north. If you're into witchery and adding things, if you want to save the planet, save the environment, add stuff to yourself to evolve yourself, make yourself look younger, go from looking like Taylor when she's the Incredible Bulk to now looking slim without the huge thighs, then you want to be in the Western position. So you can actually add to the body or delete, but it's easier, is it not, to add muscle, add beauty, add youth. But if you're into all the hardcore satanic stuff like KP, then you would of course stand at the Eastern position for deletions. So when she did her magic ritual at the Brit Awards to delete from Trump, and who was on the right with her skeleton, she wasn't deleting, she was adding to Trump.
Yeah.
And if you look at the skeleton on the left, she was deleting from Theresa May, and Theresa May certainly has become deleted. She's gone completely mad and is repeating the same old Brexit formula like a mad person again and again with the same results, failure. So as you can see, these rituals are right in front of your face, but since of course you're not an Illuminati or a professional magician like myself, you don't understand them. Now, when we make the circle, we can make it from chalk or thread, and I think this is mad, making a circle from chalk and thread and writing symbols around. Well, for all of you who want to do the original magic, we'll explain it in great depth how to do original ceremonial magic. I prefer to have, let's go for a different colour. Let's be a devil. I'm going for a different colour. Let's go for green. Green's good. In Kabbalah, green stands for good stuff, money, So in the Abraham ritual, you've got red for the bad stuff, green for all the good stuff, money, property, good looks, blah blah, wealth, etc., fortune. And the white line stands for spirituality, ascending, basically the line up for the Abramelin ritual. So with our Supernatural Spirit Magic School kit, we have stones .34 of them, which make up the circle. These can be programmed with the entire magic ritual before you start. I'll explain how. If you look at the science videos where I explain how to wake up crystals and merge them with yourself, the psychotronic crystal process, the 34 crystals are merged with you, so instead of a string or chalk or deer hide or whatever other stuff they use, we just have 34 tumble stones which you can drop on your carpet, and there's your circle. Easy. And of course, since they're crystals, they link you up with Enochian magic, 5-dimensional magic. So using a crystal circle, which is you, merged with you by the psychotronic process, the time and scalar vectors merged with you via a grail state that can do it, all the stuff I explained before. You go, what the hell was he talking about? What? We're making magic crystals which are merged with you, which link you with the 5th dimension, so you can do 5th dimensional magic like the Sorcerer Supreme in Avengers Infinity War. So the Marvel use my stuff, I don't mind, they can use whatever stuff on the websites. Marvel films are full of my stuff. It's all good, it's all good. All adds to my power levels. But the Sorcerer Supreme in Avengers Infinity War, changing timelines, going back in time, that's all the stuff I talk about in the Rent Show, which I've been using for decades to bring in Chad World and Cobalt 60 World and Psychic Warfare World, etc. So as you can see, Hollywood is full of my stuff, and I'm simply adding my stuff to all of the magic from the past, the grimoires. So we're just evolving. We're turning magic into a science, which was prophesied, and I'm just the one who's turning magic into a science and making it safe and secure for you budding zealotors, who can then, after these 20 films, on your own, without the kit if you don't want it, but if you want to add to the past, you can buy the $600 kit and become an Adeptus Major. If you want to become a Magister Templar, then that's too dangerous to do on your own. I don't want to have loads more people in mental hospitals possessed by Coronzon, so you simply come to an 007 course and we'll turn you into a Magister Templar and explain all the 007 crown Illuminism, which I control and is at my disposal for people who come to me. Now, why do I have 34 crystals? Well, if you look back in the boring videos, that's because it's the 9th term of the Fibonacci series, which is 34. Why? Because body is a 3 space, soul is a 3 space, and 3 squared will be 9. So simply put, having 34 boosts magically your body and your soul. Or if you're into psychic warfare like me, for my super soldier seminars, which are for professional killers, assassins, super soldiers like the Russian super soldiers who've been using all my stuff, then that would be called the biophysical body. And the physical body, of course, would then have its own energetic form made from bioplasm, physical, soul fluid, biophysical, Russian terms. But that's another story. So as you can see, we start off with the circle, and I'm saying I'm not making up because we're using medieval grimoire technology. So if you look at eyes wide shut with the midget Tom Cruise and the delectable Nicole Kidman, it's getting a bit old now, but never mind. You'll see they had the circle in eyes wide shut, banging the staff. That was would be me, the chief magic person, and they were using sex magic, and sex magic would simply be the scalar, that's the energy of humans. So Illuminati are into generating huge amounts of sex bubbles which they then can use. So that's why Hollywood has been sexualized, that's why all the A-list singers sexualized. We don't see Katy Perry, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande, Miley wearing long sacks or in their tents covering their hair and all the other stuff. We actually see them flaunting what they've got to generate lots of sex energy, which Crowley said was the core of thelemic magic. So with thelemic magic we generate lots of sex, and he was always having onanism. Are you an onanist? Or he was having sex with his group of women, or with his male lovers like Neuberg. And he said the best form of sex energy was from little boys and then little girls. So we see the paedophilia, which the Illuminati are into, which is not only for their perversions but for sex magic. And as you grow older, the quality of the sexual energy drops. So you see in America hundreds of thousands of children disappearing who are fuel for sex magic. Now, of course, you can simply call up, as I explained in from Colin's work, the archetype of sex. It's an archetype. So you don't need to go around kiddie fiddling or sacrificing and raping young women and men as they do in all over America and the West, or having the pornographic industry, which is controlled by mainly Illuminati and their minions. And as you see, even things like Babe Station, which are on Freeview, generate lots of sexual energy from lots of onanism. The 2-minute challenge, if you watch Babe Station. Have you watched Babe Station?
I've seen it.
He's seen it! Got you. Have you taken the 2-minute challenge?
No.
Well, that's a 2-minute challenge of onanism to see whether you can get your emission. And that generates lots of sex energy. So no need to get into eyes wide shut, because the amount of energy produced by eyes wide shut, having the rich come for their orgies, is less than switching on Babe Station and collecting the sexual energy from the onanists who are doing the 2-minute challenge. So as we can see, we're rationalizing and making magic easier. Now I, of course, take it one step further, because I've improved on all aspects of magic. So with the circle, we've got the 34 crystals. We use 34 tumble stones because they're easy to get and lowers the cost. If we start using big crystals, the cost goes up from the $600 for the kit. But if you come to a seminar with Celestial Paladin or St. Nicholas, then of course you'll be able to use a bigger circle, and we can then do group magic, where you have a coven of magicians all using their power for one triangle of art. But you can do it on your own or have your own coven, doesn't matter.